Hey guys, it's Nigel. Welcome back to my channel. So just some interesting downloads that I received while I was sitting here at the park. And if you hear heavy panting in the background, my dog is in the back seat, so you know how it is. Okay, so this download started to unravel because I was watching this video from Lori Ladd that she posted like 3 years ago, and she was basically talking about the different types of I want to say alien, but I use the term loosely. The different types of extraterrestrial species. Okay, so we're talking about aliens today. This is pretty profound, in my opinion. Okay, so FYI, for those of you guys who are not familiar with a few of the different extraterrestrial species that there are, we have Pleiadians, we have reptilians, we have greys, we have humans or humanoids. Okay, so there are we have like the Sirius constellation, so you know, the entities and creatures that belong to that star system. Okay, so we're just talking about different star systems outside of the planet Earth where different galactic species are. Okay, we already know that this is a thing. Again, they put everything in plain sight. Think about Star Wars when they have the little star systems where everybody from different galaxies come together and they all kind of live together on that planet. Okay, so think about Star Wars, think about the movie Valerian, okay, think about Star Trek, okay, think about even the Avengers, how they're flying through the cosmos and there are different races of species that intermingle together, like in the Avengers, they have the tree people and Gamora and, you know, Thanos. These are all different types of galactic alien species, okay? So, saying all this to say, can you imagine? Okay, so for those of us who are a little bit like woke in consciousness, we can kind of contemplate and understand that there is a reality where aliens exist. In fact, that reality does intertwine with our physical reality. It is just that consciously a lot of humans are not mentally there, therefore that is not what we are all collectively experiencing. But as people on an individual level begin to raise in consciousness and open themselves up to the vastness of our reality, the idea of aliens becomes more of a possibility or potentiality. Okay, so this is why I believe that our government doesn't disclose certain things about the aliens and why they're waiting so long to disclose information about the aliens. And the answer is because if people were aware of alien life form, and you know how they use religious systems to kind of mandate certain ideas and ideologies and things of that nature, they utilize religion to get people all to believe the same thing, to get people all to think the same thing. They utilize religion to control the masses in some instances, right? They use religion to control when they're in times of like slavery, and now even trying to use it to justify certain things that are going on in our reality. Okay, so we're not going to get into the religion aspect of is it good, is it bad, how does it serve the collective, blah blah blah. This is a download that I received. If people were consciously aware and open to the idea of aliens and extraterrestrial and life force, do you know how many religious structures would collapse? Think about it. Are the aliens subject to worship Jesus Christ? Are the aliens subject to follow Muhammad? Are the aliens subject to follow the Buddha? Right? It's like, if we believe our religion is the end all be all, right? Are we also expecting aliens and extraterrestrial life forces to bow down and to, you know what I mean? Our religious structures are very limited. Okay, and this is why a lot of people are leaving religion, because they're realizing that a lot of it is used to control the masses. Not saying there's anything wrong with having a relationship with God, not saying there's anything wrong with having a relationship with the divine, with your angels, guides, and helpers, right? Like, the more consciously awake you are becoming, you have a deeper sense of connection with God and the cosmos and source, right? So it's not to say that you cannot have a connection to the divine or to God consciousness or to creation consciousness if you are not a part of religion, right? But seriously and truly ask yourself these questions, to all the Christians, to all the Bible thumpers, to all the believers, no matter what religion you believe or partake in. Do you believe that if aliens and extraterrestrials existed, like, is this just only the humans need to be religious, only the humans need to follow Christianity, only the humans need to follow Judaism and things like this? Like, think about it. So are we really saying that the aliens are lost and condemned to damnation because they do not subject themselves underneath the laws of modern religion? Sorry, I keep putting my hand back here because I'm feeding my dog to keep her kind of quiet. But, like, really think about this, you guys. I truly believe that they hide so much information about discernment, disclosure, alien activity across the country, across the world, because we already know, based on monumental sites in different places around the world, like the pyramids of Giza, like Machu Picchu, like these like Easter Island, that have these giant statues and monuments where the humans of the time couldn't possibly have the technology to make these things happen, although we do know there were superior timelines and superior life on the planet Earth, you know, that came before us. We're talking about Atlantis, we're talking about Lemuria. So there were periods of time where the species of the planet Earth had far advanced technologies, and I do believe these technologies do still currently exist. Okay, it's just that, again, we're under these systems that highly regulates and suppresses the information and technology that we are allowed to become, you know, allowed to interact with. So, saying all this to say, and this is the point of this question, do you believe that if and when the alien disclosures happen, and I believe they've been holding this wild card because, again, if humans are even acutely aware of the fact that aliens, extraterrestrials, other life forms exist, which we are aware, they put it in plain sight, we've seen it in our media. I think at this point, people who are conscious understand now that we can take the media that they're creating and there is some truth to it, okay? When they show us these other alien species in Star Wars and Star Trek, and they're prepping us, they're grooming us to open up our consciousness to say, what would life be like if that did exist, or if these creatures do exist, if, you know what I mean? So this, I think, is going to be very earth-shattering when there is more alien disclosure on a higher scale. It is really going to rock the religious structures and the religious systems. Can you imagine all the Jewish people, all the Christian people, once they find out that aliens do in fact exist, do you think they will cling tighter to their, well, some of them will cling tighter to their religion out of fear and out of not understanding the vastness of our reality? But there are going to be so many religious people who are like, wait a minute, if aliens do exist, it will really make you question your religious beliefs. Because again, if you believe your religious structure is right, and again, this is not a matter of morality, like if whatever you follow fits you like a glove and you believe what you are practicing and it really does resonate with your soul and it does something for you, this is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about for the people who do not agree with the religion that they have grown up with or been subject to all of their life. When these extraterrestrial species, you know, come onto the world stage, which is happening very, very, very soon. This is why we're seeing so much alien in the media. It's going to be happening in our lifetime extremely soon. It's already happening and unfolded, just not on a mass scale. But again, with the Great Awakening comes all of these revelations about life outside of our reality, I guess you could say. So that is the big the big, I guess, topic of discussion for this video. Tell me what you guys think. When people become aware of the fact on a large scale, on a grand scale, meaning that they're putting this information on the news now, because, you know, they like to suppress a lot of that information. They don't, when there's UFO sightings and, you know, just really obscure things happening in our reality, the government does heavily try to conceal that information, again, because it would really speed up the fast that the human open their conscious perception of what is happening in the world. Okay, so that is the question. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think the religious structures will begin to crumble or dissipate the more we receive intel on a mass scale on alien interaction, right? Do you believe that once the aliens do disclose themselves in a big way, and I'm not talking about Project Bluebeam, where they're saying they're going to use the 5G towers to orchestrate some kind of coming of Christ or anything like that. It's not what I'm talking about, or coming of these extraterrestrials. I'm talking about legitimate, real extraterrestrials that do exist. And another thing, for those people who don't believe that they exist, which I don't believe anybody who's watching this video believe that they don't exist, but you know, you never know. Where would we possibly get the idea from of extraterrestrials? Okay, this is something we have to understand about the human consciousness. We create from our experiences. We would not be able to create alien species, humanoid species, Pleiadians, reptilian, gray species, Anunnaki species, if we did not get it from some kind of experience, whether it be having an interaction in our dreams, having an interaction in reality. You know what I mean? Like, we cannot create something that we have never experienced. Okay, you cannot call something into your psyche that you have not conceptualized in your mind. So this is how I know aliens are a thing, or else they would never be in our consciousness. Imagine all the things that exist on other planets that we have no conscious awareness of, therefore we never think about it, we never talk about it, we never, you know, create scenarios about it because we're unaware of it. We cannot create things that are not a part of our awareness. And because aliens and extraterrestrials are now a part of our awareness, and we are creating media based on the fact that we have this awareness, obviously there is some level of truth to it. Okay, so that's the big question. What do you guys think? When the aliens are exposed on a mass scale, do you think it's going to cause a lot of people to leave their religious structures? Do you think they're going to cling more heavily to their religious structures? Do you think people are going to begin questioning their religions, you know, when they're aware of extraterrestrial life force, right? It's like, do the aliens go to heaven or hell, or like, right, like, is there an afterlife for the aliens? These are like serious questions, and if you allow yourself to ponder these questions, you might actually, you know, I don't know, I think it would cause a lot of people to understand they're only being suppressed in their religions. And again, for some people, religion does truly help them. But for you know, for the people who love to condemn people and damn them to hell for eternity and say, you need to read your Bible, Jesus is coming soon. It's like, is Jesus coming for the aliens as well? You know what I mean? So, just things to think about, because I'm under the impression that these ascended masters are here to help us to expand our consciousness, and not that we're meant to follow them. We're meant to like learn from their teaching, but we're not meant to exalt them. They're only here to show us what we are capable of doing, like the Jesus archetype, like the Buddha archetype, like the Muhammad archetype. You know what I mean? So that is what I have to say about that today. Just a little bit of food for thought on the aliens and alien activity, and I do believe it's closer than we think. So what is our world going to look like when we are now consciously aware of these extraterrestrial species as they begin to integrate with the human collective? Okay, I love you guys. Let me know what you think. Bye.